Welcome everybody. Luisa, my classmate, and I we create this beautiful presentation talking about how to teach vocabulary. Okay, we must begin with the ways to teach vocabulary. We have three parts: context, relevant vocabulary, and a student age. So, as you can see, the first is context. You have to link the vocabulary with the experience from the students and all the concepts they involve all of them. We could add this new vocabulary with songs, stories, videos, and comic strips, or all the different material that you can add this new vocabulary. All the items that allow the capacity from your students to speak in a different situation or a context. Okay? Now we have relevant vocabulary. You have to connect a vocabulary with the students could use in their daily routine. I mean, you have to find the ability from the student to be able to connect the new vocabulary with their daily routine, the things that they do day by day. Okay? Now we have a student's age. Well, in a student's age, the first we have to take account if we are talking about children. You need to remember that they are amazing, remember things with their sense. I mean, you have to add the new vocabulary working with their feelings and their emotions. Okay? Now we have teens. Teens are better working with the vocabulary they use in their daily routines. Something, as I mentioned before, in the relevant vocabulary, something they can do in their day by day. Now, for working for adults, they are more focused in a goal to acquire the language. So you need to work with the vocabulary with their personal goal. Now I will talk about techniques. First, show images or drawings. Well, this is a great tool to teach new vocabulary due to every person can recognize an image or a draw. I mean, every single person around the world could recognize an image if they have this kind of image in their context, like in their daily routines. I mean, you can show your students a car and they will know what is the name of this object in their mother tongue. So you could use this knowledge and you can add the new word that is car. So they all will put all this knowledge together in order to remember the image from a car and the new word that is car. Now we have realia. Realia, it is expose the students through their sense, environment, behavior, emotion, object, real situation to connect the meaning and word. You have to expose your students and real situation to add this new vocabulary. I mean, professions, objects in the classroom, and sports they could do soccer, full American football, volleyball, all these kind of things. Sure, but you have previously teach them the new the new vocabulary that you could find in the read. So what can you do? You can make a list the possible new vocabulary they will find there, and you will teach the meaning, and they will read the whole lecture with this fresh knowledge, and they will could identify the real meaning with the context of the lecture. So now you have to check at the end of this activity if they can give you a great feedback from the meaning, individual meaning, and the meaning with the context. Use translation. I think that is a whole method, but it works because the students can remember the word in their mother tongue. They could use their mother tongue to learn the new word in the new language they are learning. You have to work with this, but not at all, because they could make a confused when they will start to speak, write, or read because they try to use their mother tongue to understand. So you can teach the only meaning from the only word, but you need to emphasize that the meaning changes with the context where is put the word. So now we'll continue my classmate Luisa.
Now I am going to talk about building strategies. First of all, we have to take into account that building strategies are some methods in which we can improve our students' vocabulary. The first building strategy or the first method could be antonyms and synonyms because it is a good idea to teach to our students the antonyms and synonyms of an unknown word. This is also very helpful because they are going to learn the opposite of the word, and also they are going to learn more words related with the unknown word. This strategy will make a big impact in the process of learning of our students because we can also use pictures to illustrate the meaning of the words or also put the new words into short sentences that tell a story. The other building strategy could be a brainstorm. This strategy it is very helpful when you want to teach new vocabulary related with a specific topic. So, for example, you are going to teach vocabulary related with animals. So students can begin to write as many names of animals that they remember. And finally, the other building strategy could be a brain dump. It is like a little chart with 3 columns. The first one is list, the second one group, and the last one label. In the column called list, students list all of the new words they find in a text. Also, the group's words are collected. In the next column, in group column, the words are going to be listed and are going to be grouped by category. And finally, in the last column, each group or each student is going to explain for deeper understanding the meaning of the word. Taking into account what I said before related with building strategies, there are some vocabulary games that are very helpful to our students in order to practice what they have learned. For example, Hangman. This game is very helpful for students because they are going to review the alphabet and also they are going to practice the new words learned. To play this game, you have to take into account the group of students you are working with because if you are working with advanced students, you could make some change in the game. For example, you could give the definition of the word and then make the students write the word. Other helpful game could be bingo, and you have to take into account if you are playing the game with young learners or with older students. If you are playing with young learners, you could make bingo cards to them and give the pictures related with the word. If you are playing with older students, you could give the definition of the word and then make the students replace the game with a synonym of the word. This game encourages students to listen and to think about what they have heard and use their memory to search the correct answer. And finally, other very helpful game could be songs because these songs could help our students to practice the pronunciation as well as the listening and also the grammar. This game or the songs are funny and students can enjoy the activity because they are going to see the activity as another game and not as something mandatory. And finally, there are some tips that can help students to improve their vocabulary. For example, practicing with songs, as I said before, playing with learning language apps, and finally, reading books and magazines. Thank you so much.